give me your name, the name of your entry, and where you're calling to us from.
Okay. My name's Keith Weber. The name of the entry is Night Rules, and I'm coming to you from Windsor, Colorado.
Okay. Now, here's my first question. I'm going to jump right into it. Okay. A touchy subject.
Yeah.
Human trafficking. You were able to still retain the horror and the desperation of it. How did you do that? How did you not lapse into, okay, I can sensationalize this subject?
Well, let me start just a little bit differently in that the idea for this book actually came from a text message or a forwarded Facebook post, I think it was, that my wife received. The reality is that for the last 37 years, my wife and I have traveled that stretch of highway probably, a half a dozen times a year. So we know this stretch of road very well. And it was probably 7 or 8 years ago that a Facebook post was forwarded to her of a woman saying, "Be careful, this is what happened to me." Not that she was abducted, but that someone was trying to get her to pull over, and she was very concerned that she was about to be abducted.
Wow.
And that was kind of the genesis of this. And when it comes from a real event like that, it's not about sensationalizing it. It's about, this is serious. This is a serious topic. And, we need to treat it. I think it's a delicate balance between treating it as a fictional story, but knowing in fact that these horrors do exist in real life.
Right. Well, bravo on that. An excellent job.
Thank you. Thank you.
We get to meet Sean Wynn again, and yay, he's a biker. He's going to Sturgis. He's got a beard. He's a tough hombre. And that's a description that doesn't usually fit the hero type. So I think I know the answer to this, but why a biker dude?
Oh, I grew up 17 miles from Sturgis. I've been riding since I was, 12 years old. I think that a lot of authors put maybe who they would want to be into their characters. And there's certainly a little bit of who would I like to be in Sean Wynn.
Let's talk about action and suspense writing. They are key moments in this telling. And some of the action involves multiple characters. There's even a battle scene per se, yet it's clearly described. A lot of authors can't do that. So how do you make sure that those scenes that are intricate are communicated clearly?
I think the key thing for me is to make sure that I establish the characters, the points of view, and their positions going into the scene, so that we know, this person is in location A with weapons B and C, right? And this person's over here in D, and I think it's just really important to set that stuff up as clearly as possible ahead of time, so that you can then move people in fast scenes, short, quick snippets. This person moves from here to here and does this or that. I think the setup is what's really important on that.
There's a scene toward the end, and I'm going to call it "Take the Shot." Okay, now, without giving anything away, did that come out of the characters, or did you put the pen down, walk away, and come back and say, "Oh wait, I'm gonna change who was saying that. I'm gonna change the meaning"? Was that an accident, or did you go, "No, I had that plan the whole time"?
That was a pantser moment. That was a pantser moment, because as I was writing the scene, I had no idea what that dialogue would be.
Right.
But when it came, the dialogue was it felt obvious, but you're right. Who said it was not necessarily obvious.
So you have this very serious subject. You have a lot of action going on. You got bikers, you got bad guys of all varieties, and some bad guys that are good guys and good guys that are bad guys. And somehow, in all of this very serious chaos and sleuthing, you mix in this beautiful romantic relationship between Sean and Samantha Miller. Why did you decide, I'm going to throw some romance in here?
Again, it was a Panther thing. As I got to writing them, and I think all authors know this, these characters become real people, right? They become real to you. And when we got to that point in the story where they had spent some time together, they'd had some conversations, exposed some vulnerabilities to one another. When it got to that point, it seemed like the natural thing to do.
Right.
It was a very natural, to me, it was a very natural progression of the story. Again, I don't think that I ever sat down and consciously said, these two are going to, have a romance. It just happened.
Sometimes they fall in love and you can't do anything about it.
Exactly. Even as the author.
So Sean tries to save all of these captives, yet he seems to attach himself to the task of freeing Jessica Davis. What is it in Sean that makes him care?
It's really interesting that you asked that, because I've really had to explore that in the third book that's again at the proofreader right now. And I think what it is just there's something in him that was instilled in him. Again, just to give some character background here, if you recall, and it's mentioned in both Night Rules, I believe, and in Intentional, that he was actually a high school senior at Air Academy High School in Colorado Springs when 9/11 occurred. So, I mean, to kind of give him an age and that, but I mean, he was already in a military family, so he already had a sense of duty and responsibility. And there was just something about that event that kind of triggers him or boosts him into action, to join the Marines first and foremost, and then the Special Operations Command, MARSOC, in the Marines.
Right.
I think it's just something ingrained within him.
Just one last question. There's another book coming in this series, is there not?
The next book is called Nogales Pass.
Ooh.
Look forward to that one.
I like it. You're in my neck of the woods a little bit there, Nogales.
Yes, indeed.
Except Tucson for me. So Nogales Pass. Very good. Well, we'll look forward to that. Send me the artwork. I'll slam it up there if you have something.
I should by that time for the next one.
Great. Well, it's been great talking to you, and good to see you again, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
That sounds great. Looking forward to it, Peter.
Okay.